right, so who out here wants to learn a little bit about mastitis? Bacteria? Bacteria? Who loves bacteria? You like bacteria, I know you do. I can see it in your eye. So in order to totally understand mastitis as a whole, you have to first understand bacteria and biofilms. But before we can even go that far, let's look at what mastitis truly is. And what it means, it's more than just money. It's not just a matter of my cow has an infection. It's a matter of how much is my lost production, how much am I losing, how much am I spending to treat, what am I attempting to do here. One of the biggest plagues on the face of the planet in the food arena as a whole is bacterial contamination. If there's one thing that keeps plant managers up at night, it's worrying about quality-related issues. We're talking Salmonella, Shigella, Listeria, Campy, Staph, Strep, and then we have our spore formers. Spore formers are the new horizon. Ecolab has done an amazing job getting rid of pathogens, and now we're moving to the next frame, which is how do we lower the spore counts so China will actually take our dried goods. I love this PowerPoint because every time I click the button, bacteria pop up. Who loves bacteria? Bacteria, everyone? So when we're talking to co-ops, we're talking to process, we're talking to farmers, especially farmers, since this is a mastitis presentation. We have to look at mastitis and contamination of biofilms as a whole, because falling milk prices increases in quality standards, increases in regulatory requirements, production efficiencies. That's not enough to worry about. We have to worry about contamination as a whole. So what is a biofilm and where can you find it? Biofilm, quite simply, is a collection of bacteria that are coating over an area that they've made their home, and now they're just shooting high counts off across the board. And where can you find biofilms? Everywhere. Out of Nebraska, they recently did a study where they PCR tested all the bacteria from the claw all the way to the finished product. They found out that 40% of all finished goods, the contamination came from the farm. The other 40% came from the truck, and then 20% was the contamination came from the plant. So biofilms have an attachment phase, a growth phase, and then a detachment phase. And again, one bacteria gets into one place, starts to grow, and then starts to detach, and suddenly you're shooting high counts. Biofilms can be on welds, front and back side. They can already be across the piping, on the slow sides. You can literally get biofilms anywhere. And what does this mean? This is one of my favorite pictures. This was sent to me by this picture was sent to me by a guy in Indiana. He sent me the greatest biofilm pictures that he finds. But I look at this picture and all I think of is two things. One, who's got the avocado, tomato, and some chips, right? That sounds lovely. And number two, could this have been what has been leading to the pop on the total counts? Has this been contributing to his PIs? What about his LPCs? What is going on in that biofilm that is kicking his counts up across the board? So now, switching gears a little bit, what is mastitis? Mastitis is nothing more than the cow's body protecting itself from a bacterial or foreign body infection. 99% of the time it's just a bacterial infection, and it's just her body. Everybody says, what are your counts? What are your ESCC counts? All those are is white blood cells, leukocytes. We call them somatics and mobile. And mastitis is just the body's way of protecting itself from that infection. She has a bacterial infection, she floods the area with white blood cells, boom. Somatic cells are white blood cells that have been mobilized to destroy an infection. The PMO sets the legal limit at 750 per as a level, but honestly, I don't know of any plants that'll even accept over 400. Anybody else? You ever heard of anybody taking over 400? It's like no more. The PMO says 750, but good Lord, can you imagine?
If you're going to do it, it's got to be more.
Because, but yet the PMO still says 750. A lot of the places that we're seeing, they won't allow anything past 250. I mean, especially up in the northern areas, if it's not 250, they're rejecting it and sending it to ice cream or cheese. So what environmental factors contribute to mastitis? Hygiene, bedding, genetics. And also parlor procedures, pre-dip, post-dip. Yeah, are you using iodine? What are you using? How much suction do you have on the cloth? Most mastitis is actually subclinical. This is the part that's always kind of wonky because the parlor workers, they can spot red and inflamed. They can see a STEMI cow that's kind of burning. But what they don't know is that 90% of them are actually just subclinical, and that if you just pull them out and give them a rest, their bodies will take care of it without treatment directly. Or if you get them on treating them sooner, you'll get the infection out within 3 to 5 days instead of 10 to 14. Now here's the part that I think is the kind of ties the first part of this presentation to the second. There is a direct link between mastitis and biofilms in your milking system. They found direct links by PCRing the bacteria coming out of the cow and then PCRing the biofilms throughout the system, the milking house, and they find a direct link. So by controlling and identifying mastitis when it's still subclinical on some level, or trying to catch it a lot earlier, will not only help your cow, it'll help your treatment costs, and then it'll also your sanitation costs. You won't have any weird anomalies floating around in the gaskets or anything else. So it's kind of, if you can actually catch it early, you are saving yourself not just the cow, but all the way downstream. So where do you find contaminations? And the answer is everywhere. Everywhere, 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 everywhere. At any point, from Bessie all the way to the truck, there are opportunities for contamination, biofilms, and mastitis bacteria from the cow infiltrating the entire system. So now the question becomes, okay, great. Part of mastitis control and identification, since we're not just sticking to the cow, is system-wide. How do I locate contamination or biofilms or infected areas? A lot of people say, well, it's real simple. You call up your local installer. They come in for about 3 or 4 days, rip apart everything, and I get paid $75 an hour for those 3 days. And using a quality system, the first thing you can actually do is cut that down by 1/3 minimum. Take a sample here, take a sample here, take a sample here, and at least narrow down the area that you need to focus in on to deal with your contaminated areas. We always think about how to segment the system as a whole. How can I save and become more efficient and save money across the board? And the first thing is just to narrow down your approach. Now in terms of so now we've kind of got an idea, we understand what bacteria are, biofilms, the long haul. So what is pen sampling? If I want to actually start and get a feel for what's going on with the cow immediately down, then moving downstream, what's the most effective way to do that? Well, some people say DHIA testing every single cow once a month. And I think that's a great idea. That's a wonderful idea. But if you're only doing it once a month, how many mastitic infections are you missing throughout the entirety of that month after they leave? And what we always suggest is, A, how can we get more hands-on control of the system as a whole and also still save some money across the board? And the answer is pen sampling. Pen sampling is paramount to catching mastitis when it's still subclinical because you're looking for species-specific bacteria in each of the pens. And if you have 1,000 cows broken up into 10 pens, and you actually once a week pulled a bag from each of those pens just to figure out what's going on in them, you're going to be able to catch a lot of these infections much earlier. Not to mention the fact that you're also going to save money because by the end of the month, you're going to have pen samples to figure out that instead of DHIA testing all 1,000 cows, I only need to test pens 1, 2, 4, and 6, cow by cow by cow. The rest of them are clean. There's no staph and there's no strep in any of the milk coming out. I just went from having to spend, even if it's just $1 per cow per pen, instead of spending $100 for that pen, I just spent $10 to get the exact same results, and that's still maintaining a more proactive control over my milking system, because instead of once a month, I'm checking it every pen once a week. I'm checking it maybe every other day. I can control the system, or you know what? I never have a problem with pen 1 and 2. I'm going to test those grouped. I'm just going to pen sample those once every 2 weeks because they're good. So what supplies are needed? Well, here has cows? Cows. How many cows you got?
200.
200. If you were going to pen sample, how would you currently pen sample? Just crack a valve and pour it into a Coke can? That's about right? That's how everybody does it. The first thing, what they normally do is some people will stick a needle up through a gasket and then let it drip out into a container that they say they sanitize. Or they just crack a gasket and then they let it pour in. But Qualitrue has the only actual 4-part system for early mastitis detection. And here's how it works. A piece of stainless steel in a septum, right off the receiver. You can see it right there. It's got to be on the positive pressure side because it'll actually empty out my bags before the sanitary trap. But you have a Qualitrue 7-channel septum and a piece of stainless steel that dry clamps right into place. Quick and easy. You can be aseptically sampling within 5 minutes. You need a sterile collection bag. All of our bags come pre-packaged and sterilized from the needle straight down to the sterile 2-liter bag. And then one of our nifty portable peristaltic pumps. Elbow and septum, pump, sterile collection bag. At the beginning of the milking of pen 1, the milk starts coming in, you press power on the pump, it'll start pulling a bag all the way through. At the end of it, you pull the needle, do an air blow, flush the system real quick, and throw another sterile collection bag to start pen 2. It doesn't really get much easier than that. And here's what the beauty of it is, that you're actually taking, because the sample that you're taking is moving aseptically directly into the milk, into a sterile collection bag, you can actually directly hang your hat on the results that you get out of this bag. You know for a fact that you're not testing the gasket, you're not testing the sanitizer, you're not testing the Coke can. Everything goes into a sterile collection bag, which is neat. And then here's the shameless pitch part of all this. All of our products are sterilized via gamma or via ethylene oxide. They're all medical grade materials. All of our stainless steel is 316. Our channels come at high and low temperature. Every septa has 7 channels that you can use for an aseptic sample. We have a number of different products that can be used for, if you're not really looking for a sterile collection bag, you just want to do some snapshots throughout your milking system. We have single-use, true draw, single samplers. Those are neat. And yeah, that's us as a whole. Our whole thing that we're trying to do as a company is allow you to make business decisions that you can hang your hat on and actually make them using the correct data and the correct applications. Accurate sample, accurate results. You missed it. Hold on, do it again. Ready? There you go. And that's what's beautiful. It's easy as 1, 2, and 3. Stainless steel, septa, sterile collection bag. And that's it. Questions? Come on, don't leave me hanging.
We've used that for years.
Tell me more about that.
Don't work.
What?
No, well, we always had trouble with this. I think the peristaltic pump, would that make it better?
Yes.
Because if you don't get the right flow with your little thumb thing.
Yeah, no, don't use those.
Yeah, that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't getting enough dripping coming. So you'd open it up, and walk out in the parlor, and come back and bag chuck it.
Yep. So
the only other problem is, if you're going to do each pen, you almost got to get all one group milk, shut down, and then change it and start an operation.
So we've had that discussion before. So the first part here, you're talking the little metal clips. Yeah, throw those away. What you need is a peristaltic pump that can actually control the flow, and it'll control the back pressure also to make sure that you get a controlled metered amount across the board. Now the second half of it, you said was was what?
Well, I mean, you want to do each group.
Yeah.
Like we got a parallel hearing go barley.
Yep.
And you got one side of M1 and you got one side of M2 barley.
Yep.
And then both have milk at the same time. So if you really want to be active about it, you almost got to shut down after the group, get that valves out, blow your line out.
Yes, yeah. No, and I completely agree with you. You do have to have some very detailed management of how everything is coming in.
We just don't have time to do that anymore.
In which case, if there's a little bit of slice between the end, a little bit of back and forth, that still gives you a really solid idea of what you're dealing with. And that's the whole idea, right? I can DHIA test every single cow that walks in. It's $1 to $3 per cow. Or I can just get awesome snapshots of field that'll keep me still ahead of the curve across the board. So,
Everything works, but I see that fair healthy pump.
yeah, we're actually using these for diagnostics and for pen sampling. We're using this for a lot of stuff right now. And what we're finding is that it gives you the truest definition of a representative sample. And for pen sampling, it's fast, it's very economic. You just leave it and let it go. And people are doing so. We have a number of farms that are actually switching over from DHIA to just pen sampling. I don't know if I would suggest that, but that's what I've heard. I just know that it's working. So, anybody else? Thoughts? Questions? It's good talking to y'all. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be here all afternoon. Thanks, guys.